Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! We were so freaking close! What? Oh! This close! This close to actually having a really, really good... Oh! My God! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Dre, the Brute Daniels. Oh, and a happy Thursday to you all. And it is Thursday, so you already know we're going to be talking about episode 8 of You Know What? She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This episode was by far the best episode of the season. That ain't saying a whole lot, but nonetheless, give credit where credit is due. And this is the episode we've all been waiting for, the Daredevil episode. But is this episode enough to save this thing? We'll find out. And as usual, we're going to give the good bits up and the bad bits a down. Let's go ahead and up those down. So we kick things off with Leapfrog. Oh boy. So Leapfrog is trying to stop some low-level criminals from stealing a TV, but of course, he's an idiot.
Bruh.
Because why not? So he's incompetent, he's trying to stop them, he can't. And so he's trying to escape, but his... Okay, this is dumb. His rocket boots catch on fire and he gets multiple degree burns. And of course the criminals escape. So he wants to sue Luke Jacobson, the guy who created his suit, for damages and burns and all the great stuff. Yada, yada, yada. So he goes to Jen and wants to, hey, I want to sue. Whatever. So Jen goes to her boss like, hey, I don't want to push forward on this because Luke Jacobson makes all my clothes, makes my suits. It's a conflict of interest, blah, 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 blah. Her boss is like, yo, homeboy got a lot of money. He's a part of this firm. I mean, not part of this firm, but a valued customer. You have to go through it unless you can find a way to settle. So she goes to Luke Jacobson, who of course is as cartoonish as ever. And basically is like, hey, look, the joint you made for Leapfrog is faulty. Let's just try to settle this. And he's like, nah, I don't make faulty stuff. My work speaks for itself. And I'm not going to make your gala dress. Huh. Whatever. So it's on. So that's the whole plot. The plot is, hey, Leapfrog got damaged. He wants to sue Luke Jacobson. Now it's a clash. So the setup is fine. It's not really interesting, but, you know, there could be something cool about it. So, you know, I usually grade this show on a curve at this point. I'm going to go ahead and give it an up. And let's go ahead and see what else is cooking. So we get to the trial. And, boy. So Jen is basically like, hey, there's no legal counsel here for Mr. Jacobson. And the judge is like, Mr. Jacobson, are you going to be representing yourself? And they're like, no. And then... from the double doors, glorious. Good old Matt Murdock strolls in, and yeah, it was just great to see him on screen. Let's be honest. Let's not be, you know, jive time in here. It was good to just see Charlie Cox on screen again as the character that he made famous. It was fun just seeing him on screen, so that was pretty cool. So. Matt begins to lay the legal whooping on this girl, basically describing like, hey, you cannot just strictly stop this man from doing his work just because there was one bad incident. Also, this is a matter of privacy because he's a superhero and he has his own identities and all that other great stuff. So he's throwing out all this cool legal jargon, and she's doing laps around Jen, and that, I won't lie, that made me feel pretty good. So the judge agreed with Matt. Was like, yeah. He can just keep doing his work because, you know, it is what it is. But of course, we have to reiterate that Leapfrog is stupid. And then he literally admits that he put jet fuel in the boots. So the judge, Luke is like, hey, you're not supposed to put that in there. I explicitly told you not to put that kind of fuel in there. And he's like, oh, whoops. And so then, of course, the judge sides with the defense, which I never seen court go by this quickly before, but whatever. So Matt Murdock wins pretty much. And Jen tried to beg Luke to take her back and please make my dress. And she's like, kiss the rings, baby. But yeah, so that's all this court scene is. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. It actually showed that, you know, Matt Murdock's an actual lawyer and knows what he's talking about. I enjoyed this scene. Let's go ahead and get it up. Oh boy. Alright, so they happen to go to the same bar and they chit chat for a little while. And once again, I think they have legitimate chemistry on screen. Charlie Cox and Tatiana Maslany. I'm never going to get her name right now. I apologize. I think they have legitimate chemistry on screen. They talk about like living double lives and what's the importance of what Jen can actually do. And like he gives her good advice. Like, hey, you can be the legal face in the day and then at night be when the law fails, because that's exactly the way he lives his life. So, you know, it was kind of nice to see that. And, you know, once again, Charlie Cox is just bleeding charisma from this character. And as always, he does an excellent job. And for what he's given, he knows how to work with it. And he's just really good. He's just good at this role, and he knows what he's doing. So as they talk and they get to know each other, he gets a phone call and he strolls away. Then Jen gets a text message from Todd. For those that don't remember who Todd is, he's one of those creeper dudes that also has business with the firm. So I already know things are about to go south. And he's talking about, I have a legal issue, we need to discuss immediately. Meet me at this restaurant, whatever. And so, but at the same time, Matt has to go because obviously something is going down. So, and can I just say that Jen is easier to make than a peanut butter sandwich? I mean, she's given this dude the doomy eyes the entire daggone time. I don't know if they're trying to paint her as this promiscuous broad. I don't know, but that was kind of weird. But anyway, I like this scene because it really, like Charlie Cox, his charisma shines through despite the clunky dialogue. And they actually have legitimate chemistry. So I enjoyed this scene. So believe it or not, I'm going to go ahead and give it up. 3 ups in a row. That's never happened before on this show. 3 ups in a row. We might actually have an episode that I actually like through and through. Let's see. So, of course, we have to go into Stupid Town because I've been having too much fun. So, Todd, we have to have our man bad moment. So, Todd tells her, hey, I bought this Wakandan spear for $1 million because he's trying to impress her with his money, and they want it back because it was stolen. It's all pretense because he's like, you know, I'm really here. You know, I want you, baby. Nonsense, garbage. Just like this was a gratuitous scene. Just put in this thing just for man bad. God almighty. He just couldn't give me anything. And of course she rejects him, and I reject this scene down. Just come on. We couldn't go. We were doing so good. Okay. So, Jen goes home, and then she gets a phone call from Leapfrog. And he's like, yo, I'm under attack. And she's like, yo, is it mental, physical? And he's like, it's physical. And he's being attacked. He's driving away. And somebody is punching his window out. We already know who it is. But somebody's punched his window out. And so Jen is like, she's about to run out with her regular clothes on. But then we have a moment of thinking. And she goes and puts on the suit. Which unfortunately isn't even made to be a big deal. It's just like she just shows up in it. And we're like, hey, it's not even like a triumphant music or anything. I think this was a moment that was pretty lost. But, you know, it's fine, I guess. So, they have this cool little standoff. They have a cool little interchange. It's nice. It's nice. I thought their standoff was kind of cool. Granted, of course, they're not gonna have a real physical fight, but whatever, the usual. So Jen is standing there waiting for the car to come because she timed it or whatever, and Daredevil's on it trying to beat the window in and stop Leapfrog. So obviously something has gone down. Something has gone wrong. And they have a fight. How do you put it? The misunderstanding two heroes fight. And Jen literally tries to commit murder. Throwing a car. And she threw a car at him. She threw a car at Daredevil. That Joe was like, if that would have hit him, he would have died. He would have died. Without question, he would have been with Jesus. So, well, look, this is an action sequence. I am desperate for action sequences in the show. I'll just take it. So she can't land a hit on him, thank God, or he would have died. So she goes for the sonic clap. Now, I think this was actually a smart move. You got a good wave. The wave hits him. He hits the car. But, of course, he has super hearing. So, it hurts. It hurts a lot. So, she, stops him, takes his mask off. And like, oh, my God, it's Matt. I thought that was kind of lame. I think that was kind of lame for her to just rip his mask off like that. I guess it's empowerment. But I didn't really like that part. But she puts him down. And then he explains that Leapfrog is the bad guy, that he has kidnapped oh my God, Luke Jacobson. She's kidnapped him, and she's trying to stop him. So that's who it called him when he was at the bar, was Luke Jacobson. So even though this scene has a couple of faults, I don't like the fact that she ripped his mask off and all other stuff like that. But overall, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the car chase. I enjoyed the gratuitous fight scene because God knows we need something, and I enjoyed just Daredevil being on screen. I maybe I'm a sucker for it, but I enjoy seeing him, and at this point he's not really ruined. And okay, the costume, the suit, I don't really like it that much. Let me go ahead and say that I like the original one better. I think the yellow just doesn't mix too well, but overall, I enjoyed this scene, despite its faults. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an up. I can honestly say that I'm enjoying what's being put on screen right here. Now they can say like, oh, he should I know some folks will be like, oh, she shouldn't have beat him. I'm like, yeah, she's a Hulk. I mean, despite how awesome and gangster Daredevil is, it's a Hulk. You know what I mean? You can't punch that. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I enjoyed it. And I thought it was fine. So we get to the lily pad because, Leapfrog, lilies, and he's forcing Luke to make him another suit. Okay, this kind of confused me because I guess he kidnapped him and took all his staff. I don't know. This was kind of weird. I didn't really get it, but yeah. So he kidnapped him. He's a bad guy. He wants a new suit. So Daredevil and Jen at this time, they go to this rooftop, and he listens for all the heartbeats and all that stuff, and she can't believe it. Like, oh my God, you can hear all them heartbeats. And he's like, I can hear yours too. And then she gave him the doomy eyes because, like I said, this girl is easy, Lord. And I'm like, okay, that's great, I guess. But he gives her some actually legitimate, because he's like, hey, let me go down here and handle this. She's like, oh no, I'm gonna take care of this. And he looks at her and he's like, yo, you don't do this anyway. You're not a hero. And by God, he's right. She's not. So he's going down there to go handle his business. He's like, hey, let me do what I do. And even she has to acknowledge that he makes a good point because it's true. You're not a hero. You don't do these things. So good for him. And once again, good on Charlie Cox for bringing charisma to that. So we get a pretty cool hallway scene. Now, it's nowhere near as hardcore and gangsta as the Netflix series. Not even close. Like, everybody gets, one hit and they're down. It's not the severe beatdowns, but you gotta have a hallway scene if you're doing a Daredevil scene. Daredevil show or whatever. So that was fine. It was cool to see. But then of course it's ruined. She-Hulk crashes in when some more goons are coming up, and I'm pretty sure these people are dead. She crashed through the ceiling, and Daredevil was rightfully so. He's like, "Yo, you just you just destroyed more property. You done a whole lot of property damage, but of course we can't have too much fun watching Daredevil whoop up on everybody. We gotta have She-Hulk come in and ruin it, her usual." So but it is what it is. So they bust into the facility with little to no resistance, which is fine because they're doing the team up thing, and they pretty much stop Leapfrog from engaging in criminal activity. It's kind of weird. I don't really know, but they saved Luke Jacobson. I guess that's the point. So this you remember a couple episodes ago with Mr. Immortal about jumping out the windows? Pretty much Leapfrog does the same thing. He's like, there's no shame in escape in retreating. But once again, the whole point is that he's stupid. And that's one of the problems I have. He's stupid. He can't accomplish anything. He's useless. I really don't like that. And I think it's played for jokes, but it's still not funny. Whatever, it's still not funny. So that it is what it is. There, he falls out of the window. He breaks his legs because I guess Luke didn't finish the suit because it didn't seem like he turned on the. It got kind of whack after that. But he's defeated. He goes to jail, and Jen patches up her relationship with Luke, and I guess he's gonna make her the suit. The dress for the gala. Right, the gala. Because I think that's the main story. Is the gala?
Nobody cares.
Whatever. Anyway, once again, I enjoy the majority of this stuff. There was a couple things that kind of could have potentially ruined it for me, but overall, once again, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, which I am desperate for. Anytime Daredevil was on screen, he's doing pretty like he pretty much soaks up the entire scene. I'm going to give it up. I enjoyed it. Then things start slipping really, really fast. I thought I was going to get myself a legitimately good episode, but I was wrong. So, on the rooftop, he talks about keeping his life separate and all that stuff, and I gotta say the costume looks a little messed up in this type of brighter lighting. Looks kind of weird. So they talk about, like, hey, next time in town, I'm going back home to New York. And then she's like, how can I put this?
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
She can't go one episode without betting somebody. What's the point of this? Like all you gotta do is meet this broad, and then she's like, hey, let's take you to bed. Golly. And then, you know what show we're watching, so we have to humiliate every dude in this show. So of course, we have Daredevil doing the walk of shame in the morning. We were so close. We were so close to having him walk out with his decency and his dignity and his pride. But no, we have to humiliate him in some way, shape, or form. Oh my God, we were so close. We were so close. Down. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. We were so freaking close. What? Oh. This close. This close to actually having a really, really good. Oh. My God. Moving on. So, Jen breaks the fourth wall and says the same thing we should say. Like we were saying, hey, this episode should be over by now. I agree. We've already done the best we could do. And she even said it seemed like it should be over by now. And I agree 110%. I was like, you already... Look, if the show would have ended right here, I'd be like, hey, you know what? They had some hiccups, had some bad, crappy moments. But this overall would have been a solid episode. Really solid. But then it goes on. It keeps going. The show keeps going. So Nikki comes in and was like, hey, it's time for the gala. What? I didn't know the gala was the next day. And I guess Jen didn't know either. And I guess the writer's just like, hey, let's just get to the gala. Because I think that's something Luke Jacobson would have said. I'm pretty sure he'd be like, hey, I'll have this dress ready for you by tomorrow. But it's being thrown on us like, hey, we got this award for female lawyer of the year thing. I'm like, where the heck? What? What? My head was literally about to explode. I'm like, no, don't do this. Don't continue this crap. You're on a roll. Oh, God. So then we get to the gala. I'm bored as sin because we already did the best stuff. Oh, by the way, this is the main plot of the entire season, apparently. The entire season is about setting up to this gala. Did you know that? I didn't. So they announced for Women of the Year, and then a bunch of women are put up there.
You suck!
We were so close, man. God, we were so close to having a good episode. And then there was a whole bunch of women up there, and She-Hulk's confused. We're confused. Then they have some pretentious nonsense, back-patting garbage of it's empowering to be a woman, and just so. We were so close. We were so freaking close. And then you do this to me. Why? We were so close. So then they have this empowering nonsense, and there's a bunch of Women of the Year, and I think it's supposed to be a commentary on women. I don't care, man. This episode should have ended down. See, now it's being ruined. Man, we were so close. Down. And this is the main plot. This is the main plot. I almost knocked my mic over. This is the main plot of the daggone series. Crap. Dang it. So when Jen starts doing her speech, the She-Hulk King icon shows up and starts saying that she's not a hero and all this other stuff, and she's a bad person, and she's scandalous, which is true because she's done all the things that they're actually accusing her of doing. God. So now she's being shamed publicly because she gets mad. She breaks the monitors because she's mad. I guess because she can't control herself. I don't know what's happening anymore. And then the cops show up and she's under arrest. That's how the episode ends. I'm so broken because this joint was, if we could have ended right when she said, hey, this episode should end by now, that's where it should end it. So basically the intelligentsia, the shill baby site is actually the bad guys.
Of course!
I don't know what's down. We were so freaking close. I'm hurt. I really want to say this was a great episode. I was literally on the brink of being like, hey, this one is going to be actually really good. Like, there's so many things I enjoyed. But then it just all just fell apart. At the end, when you ended, the writers knew it should have ended. They knew it. But then they had to sprinkle in whatever their main plot is. And it literally ripped this whole show, this whole episode apart. I am hurt. Oh my God. So close. So close to having an all-around solid episode. But they couldn't help themselves. Overall, there were some really good things in this episode. Charlie Cox, once again, excels as Daredevil. He's very good in his role. He oozes charisma. He worked really well with what was given to him. Despite that it was like a dumbed down version of it for, for, I guess, not so hardcore audiences, he still does an excellent job. Jen actually has to face her own inadequacies to a degree. In the courtroom and as a quote-unquote hero, because she's not one, and Daredevil makes it clear that she's not. So that was cool to see that she actually had to come to grips with something about being an actual hero. Then, of course, the problem they always has, all the men are stupid, Leapfrog is useless and stupid. Then you got to publicly humiliate every man there is because we have to. Then the ending was just so mind-bogglingly stupid. Especially the writers knew that it should have stopped. They knew it. They told us it should have stopped. And then they pushed forward and destroyed it. So this is going to be my highest mark that I've ever given the show. I enjoyed this show for the most part. But those moments really hit home for me, and it really was rough. So it gets an I, a high I. I'm not gonna say it's great. I'm not gonna give this full episode an up, but it's a high I. That's what I will say. Like if this joint ended when literally Jen said it was gonna end it, I would have gave this episode an up. I promise you, I would have gave it an up, but it gets a high I. Man, oh man. So, what you guys think about this episode? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, I'm hurt because this joke could have been golden. It could have been golden. Dang it! Oh man. Don't forget to follow me on those dope social media platforms here over there. I'm wounded. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. As always, you guys have been awesome, and I'll catch you all next time. Also, if you want to support my channel, check out spinwiz.com or download the Spinwiz app and check out my comic series, Trouble. It was written with a lot of love and it was definitely my favorite comic series to write. I've also written it in English and in Spanish, so whatever floats your boat, I got it for you. Thanks again, and check it out.